Good.
I do enjoy zombie games, more so than most. Your typical shoot 'em ups are fun for 15 minutes and a great way to play co-op or online with friends or complete strangers. Or you have your open world style RPG games that focus on adventure and survival within a group, that lead you to making decisions as a leader, rationing food, sending scavengers out for resources, and deciding who comes with you on your journey and who doesn't. You do also get your bad apples, like this one for example, claiming to be something it never was, lying to its consumers, flagging YouTube material up for copyright infringement because an innocent little video from a very unpopular YouTube channel decided to highlight its terrible programming and design flaws within the game, and to this day still is a laughable piece of shit.
Okay, so as you've gathered, I'm a massive fan of Max Brooks' book, The Zombie Survival Guide. I've often wondered as well if it was ever possible to put paper to pixel. And unquestionably, Project Zomboid is the only game that I can possibly test this out against. The Indie Stone themselves let me know that their only fondest hope is that the book works as a strategy guide for the game itself. So I better not fuck this up. I'm going to take the Indie Stone's Project Zomboid and a chapter from the Zombie Survival Guide and take instructions from the book and put them to use within the game. I've chosen the chapter on the defence. Now, instead of reading the whole excerpt word for word, I've noted down the key points Max Brooks makes, and we're going to go about these instructions and see if they can be a success. Keeping in mind that the game may not have the freedom of real life, but we'll do what we can to compensate. Firstly, we need to take into account that in Project Zomboid, spawn points and resources within houses are random. In the Zombie Survival Guide, we're instructed, if your house itself is not structurally ready for a zombie attack, various measures can be employed to fortify it. We're also advised to consider housing style, i.e. apartments, bungalows, two-storey houses. Now, I live in a two-storey house, so before we start anything, we're going to use one as our starting point. As you can see with the clip in the corner, I've done a bit of scouting around, found myself a two-storey house. This is where we're going to start things from. Number 1. Lock all windows and doors. Although a pane of glass will not stop a zombie, the sound of it shattering will be the best warning you can get. Although we broke an entrance through a window, the best I can now do is close all curtains and hope for the best. Number 2. Run upstairs and turn on the bathtub. Although this sounds foolish, there is no way of knowing when the water will be cut. After a few days, thirst will be your greatest enemy. Now, I don't have the option of a bath in this two-storey house, nor do I believe that we can fill the bathtub within Project Zomboid anyway. So we're going to use our initiative and fill all containable items up with water. I'm also deciding to use this second bedroom as a storage area as it becomes rather appropriate in the next instruction. Number 3. Find the best weapons possible. The lighter, the better. This goes without saying, really, and I conveniently stumbled across a crowbar and a hammer. Number 4. Begin stockpiling the second story. Most households have at least 50% of the items needed. Do a quick stock take to see what you have. Don't take everything, just bare essentials. 1 or 2 weapons, some food, you already have a bathtub full of water, or containers in our case, a flashlight and a battery-powered radio. And since most families keep their medical cabinets upstairs, you won't need anything more. The torch is optional and the battery-powered radio is obsolete in Project Zomboid, so a quick scavenge for essential food and medical items is the current task at hand. If there isn't enough, then I'll go scavenge more. Nonetheless, I've had to continue scavenging and I've picked up every item that I could possibly do, so I've had to make a few journeys backwards and forwards. But that's the beauty of Project Zomboid, it gives you the freedom to just do exactly that. Break into anywhere you find and basically hope that the resources are there that you're after. So after several scavenges, I return home, go back to my little inventory storeroom and stock up on everything that I've picked up along the way. Number 5. Demolish the staircase. As zombies are unable to climb, this method guarantees your safety, as many have argued that an easier solution would be to board all the windows and doors up. This method is self-defeating, as it would take only a few zombies to break down the barricades. Demolishing the staircase is only possible with a sledgehammer, and apparently they're very rare in the game, so it's either I find one or I have to gather some building materials to block off the stairs for the time being. Stumbling across a lumber mill helped massively, as I found myself a sledgehammer and an axe. Now, the axe being a huge asset, as it allowed me to cut down trees close by as well as smashing down doors for extra planks of wood. And so once I'd collected what I felt was enough, I went back home and started barricading the stairs. Number 6. If you have a ladder, use it to continue to stock your upstairs refuge. An important tip, but in this situation we're going to be using a rope crafted from sheets. Quite simple. A very important option to have, considering we've just barricaded the stairs at both top and bottom. Number 7. Stay out of sight. That means turning off all the lights and blocking out the windows with sheets and keeping noise to an absolute minimum at all times, even when scavenging. Number 8. Do not use the phone. In a disaster, the lines will be clogged, and using the phone only adds to the congestion. We don't have the ability to use a phone in Project Zomboid, so this piece of advice is void for now. Number 9. If all else fails, plan an alternate escape route. A rather easy tip to complete by finding myself a bag, loading it with obviously water, canned food, medical supplies, a light weapon, and leaving it by a window that has an escape rope waiting for my use. I hope you've enjoyed this rather different video from the usual, and if you haven't purchased either of the two, the Zombie Survival Guide or Project Zomboid, then I highly recommend you do, either for separate enjoyment or even trying chapters from the book yourself with Project Zomboid, as we've just seen that the strategy guide works great, within the game's boundaries of course, and it's a hell of a lot of fun using it as a guideline. But once again, thanks for stopping by, watching the video, and give it a like or a dislike on whatever you thought about it, or just leave a comment below whether you think I could have improved on certain areas or whatnot. Useful links are in the description of course, and until next time.